audio record Jumping Evolution The Spirituality of Success Getting New Rich by New Age Spiritual Master สถิตธรรมเพ็ญสุข Audio Record by กาญจนาแซ่อิ๋ว Chapter 1 Discovering the knowledge that cave is a holy cave in an ancient temple that I visited 5 years ago. I have no idea what brought me back here to find that mysterious cave again. Something deep inside my heart told me to come back. I searched again and again. There was no trace of it. I lost that piece of paper I wrote the name of the temple on. That mysterious cave is in an ancient temple hidden away in the north of Himalayas. This is all I could recall. I traveled back to the Himalayas again in May 2015. It was the time I found the answer I have been waiting for my whole life. After I led 39 Thais to enter a spiritual jumping program or the soul coaching at the Himalayas, Tibet. The spiritual coaching or the spiritual jumping is a process of the attitude transformation within the human souls. It transforms new memories within our souls. Our souls will be aware that humans can change our own fate through resetting the soul program and achieve the true happiness in life. After the activities with teams of staff, I spent the rest of the time traveling in the Himalayas in the hope of finding that mysterious cave that I found 5 years ago. It was the first time I came to these Himalayas on the border of India and Tibet. In 2014, I came back to Himalayas again, but I did not find the cave that I visited on my first trip. All I could recall is that it is located in an ancient temple in the north of the Himalayas. Lama monks and the locals could not tell me anything about it. Nobody knew where it was. I don't know why I struggled so hard to find that cave. I met with disappointment every time because I could not find it. A year later, I went to Tibet again, and this time my wish was fulfilled. I found that mysterious cave that I have been looking for 5 years. 11th May 2015 was the day I found out why I had to come back to this cave again. Mysterious cave that brought me back to the old time of my life. The cave was still mysterious as ever. It stood silently cocooned in the midst of the mighty Himalayas, the silently outbacking atmosphere, the cold wind of the Himalayas that is covered in snow at 5,000 meters above the sea level surrounding me. Everything stood still as if time were joining together endlessly. This mysterious cave is hidden in an ancient temple that was built 1,400 years ago. From the pathway leading to a lower ground until finally the cave is standing right in front of me. This is the second time I visit this cave, which is 5 years apart from my first time. I sat and meditated in the cave that was peacefully silent. I perceived being with myself and perceived the conversation between my inner and my outer self. It was a path that I could touch, a prudent solitude. Above this mysterious cave is an ancient temple that is protecting me. My soul permeated deep down within my soul like I never felt before in my life. This is the secret of Vajrayan world. I used to feel distraught, foaming and causing confusion deep inside my soul. But when I was amidst the silent solitude of this cave, I was able to release myself from the old world that I lived in. I remember clearly on the day I was meditating inside that mysterious cave under the ancient temple. The wristwatch was slowly ticking as if each second were passing fairly slowly, as if time of the world had stumbled to a halt. I was in a deadly silent cave. I have never felt a profound silence just as this before. It was timelessly silent, completely different from previous meditation experiences at various places that I have practiced meditation. I've practiced meditation in many ways, whether it be Buddhism meditation in Thailand, Buddhism in Myanmar or meditation by S. and Goenka. I tried to find solitude in caves many times, but I've never felt such profound meditation as this time. The silent, mysteriously ancient cave slowly guided my soul to a deep serenity. Silence surrounded me until I could not feel my own breath. I could still achieve this meditation status after this experience. In the midst of silence, my inner senses lit up, and the preserved mind within the purest crystal were released. I felt my inner soul perceive the feeling. Petals of the lotus blossom of my heart were blooming at that moment, as if time were turned back to more than 1,000 years ago. The little Lama of age 5 to 6 years old was wearing deep red robe, walking behind a Lama monk into the cave. They sat down on the same spot that I was sitting. Faint light from a butter lantern allowed me to see everything that was going on inside the cave so clearly. A cute little Lama with eyes as bright as crystals was looking at me through cave wall, bewildered. From the look of little Lama made me realize that this must have been the cave memories of this little Lama from more than 1,000 years ago. I felt little Lama is gazing at me. I was sitting in the same post, same place, but a different time. When my gaze met with little Lama's, I was shocked. My whole body went numb. I was shivering violently. A monk and a man were staring at each other through time, from the past over 1,000 years to present time. On 11th May 2015 was the day I felt I had slipped into a moment that time was merged into one. I could feel that this little Lama must be related to me somehow at that moment in the past from this meditation cave. The little Lama was looking back to the future to find himself who would emerge again in his future. I will make you see yourself in the future, I heard the High Lama priest said to little Lama. In 1,000 years, you will be reborn again. You will not be a Tibetan, will not be born in the land of the Himalayas, but you will come to sit here at this very spot you are sitting right now, and you will see yourself in the future. Try to see who is that person. At that moment, I suddenly realized why I had to go back to the Himalayas so many times. I finally found that this is coaching myself through time. I realized that this is a spiritual coaching by Little Lama to myself, who is an explorer in present life. And I learned that the journey has not come to an end. Little Lama gave me a pitiful look, conveying a message that this man, who is himself in the future, still living within the wheel of life, unchanging. Little Lama's gaze met with mine. Two people looking into each other's eyes. It felt like the world had stopped spinning. Two people was communicating through their souls. There was no words or a sound spoken out. Two people communicated through time over 1,000 years. From Little Lama to myself, we both knew that we were one and same person. We both wished to be independent from this world that is full of deceptions. We want to appreciate the value of life and understand the truth. The wheel of life turns infinitely, and the essence of life cycle also keeps turning without end forever. A pure spirit is as bright as the sun that brightens up the earth. However, the emptiness is not brightened up by the rise and fall of the sun. The phenomenon of the light and the dark is alternating, but the nature of an emptiness does not change. Spirits of Buddhism and all the living creatures are also like that. The supreme truth of nature is no different from a wood or a rock. No movement on the inside. On the outside is emptiness without end or any obstructions, and existing in the universe as the one with all things. The supreme truth of the nature cannot be possessed or controlled, and it is independent. The virtual substance that Little Lama had discovered through the time, in truth, that is nothing but deceptions and an emptiness. The Little Lama had proven that time with no end is the truth. Buddhism taught us that the life cycle is a natural state of changing with no end. And that day I received that ultimate answer. The discovery of my inner self had opened myself up to understanding the definition and the purpose of life. Get in touch with my innermost spirit. It was a serene moment. The indulgence could not be explained with words. It was so miraculous. I knew this was the answer I had been looking for in this lifetime. I discovered an inner world that is far more supreme than time itself. I've met myself from my past life. I found true potential of a soul that has been trained and learned from various lives until I came face to face with my old self in the body of the little llama. What shook my soul to the core was little llama's eyes that were staring at me. Still meditating, I stared back at the little llama, and we looked into each other's eyes through time of over 1,000 years. It was a connection between two persons, from the past to the present, from the present back to the past. No explanation or words spoken, only an overlapped feelings deep inside. At this point, I could feel the meaning of life so clearly. Devotion to discover the awakening of soul is my own spiritual coaching. It was a coaching through the time of more than 1,000 years. I'll continue the spiritual coaching until the end of my life cycle in transmigration. In truth, we spend the whole lifetime learning to understand life and how to spiritual coaching ourselves. Spiritual coaching ourselves is to reach into our inner soul, which is learning through breathing in and out. Spiritual coaching ourselves is a path that leads to open up our spirits in order to touch a pure awareness and an innermost joy. Spiritual coaching ourselves is weaving the bond of wisdom that opens our hearts to the mysterious world of true learning. The meditation in the mysterious caves under an ancient temple in the north of the Himalayas was the most miraculous experience of my life. It was a path that led me to learn the true knowledge of spiritual coaching through the time, and it is the origin of the soul coaching or the spiritual jumping, which is the product of merging my enlightened experiences with the wisdom from the past to the present.